Hey, I'm Sen. I'm a ghost virtual artist. Today I'll be doing a just chatting stream talking about the Amazing Digital Circus. As the text says on screen, there will be spoilers for all 9 episodes, so if you haven't finished the show, you might not want to watch the stream this time. I've been waiting a couple weeks to talk about the last episode with everyone. It's not to say that I won't. I probably will do a video as well, but I just kind of wanted to yap more casually today. I've been working on some art and stuff behind the scenes. Let me pull up chat here. There we go. Hello. Let's go. I can catch a Sen stream again. Yeah. I'll be talking about Digital Circus stuff after I warm up. I'm gonna do a couple minutes warm up while I wait for people to come in. Fun fact, today is also Sonic's 35th anniversary. Happy 35th anniversary. I know a lot of people do fan art for these kind of things, but there's just so many anniversaries. But eventually in the future I'd like to do more of those. It's also SA2's 25th, I think? No, wait. Yeah, I think it's 25th. Not the best at math. I also saw all the posts for Shadow's birthday as well. Hello, hello. I'm doing a bit of warm-up and then we'll get into Digital Circus stuff. I am caffeinated today because I got some stuff I need to work on later off stream. Updates on the Ragatha video. I posted a preview on the Discord for people who are on Discord, but it's like, I would say it's like 80% done. It was indeed 25th. SA2 was in 2001. Yeah. But yeah, the Ragatha video, it's like 80% done. I'm like 18 minutes in, which is longer than any of the videos I've done so far. And not only that, but I put a shit ton of clips in there from specific scenes, so it's probably the most I've edited, period, not just recording-wise. Man, I don't know how video editor, like, I feel like doing video editing, I have so much more respect for editors than I did before. Not that I didn't have it before, but more... Oh my god. You're an absolute pro at the video analysis voice, by the way, thank you. I guess I've watched so much YouTube that I can do a YouTuber voice when I feel like it. I can tell, it's one of those things. Hello, hello. It's one of those things where like I'm not doing it consciously. It's more like I'm recording a YouTube video and this is how YouTubers are supposed to sound, I guess. Hello, hello. So yeah, like I did a what do you call it? I did like a rough draft recording before I recorded the actual video. And you could tell I was not using the YouTuber voice at all on that one. Like I was just talking very like casually, like exhausted, which is kind of funny because that take was way shorter than the one I ended up doing. But yeah, like the actual okay, so like the recording for the Ragatha video, the OG recording, my fast recording was like 30 minutes. My long recording was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours of raw audio, and most of that was just me repeating myself over and over again like a crazy person. So it went something like, let me see, I have the script up here. This is basically what it was like. Let me find a line that I can repeat that's not too annoying. One second. I'm scrolling through my script here. So for, as an example, it would be like, this is how the test reading would go. It'd be like, I could see why this would deeply impact a character like Ragatha. I can see why this would deeply impact a character like Ragatha. I can see why this would deeply impact a character like Ragatha. And it would just be like that over and over again. Oh god. What's happening? I'm talking about a video I'm working on, and then we're gonna go into Digital Circus stuff. So, yeah, so it was like 2.5 hours of recording, and I'm getting it down to like 20 minutes of actual audio. Clip-wise, the first half is mostly B-roll, but then the second half is like almost completely like footage from the shows. So yeah, that's how that's going. I'm really gonna try and get it out this week if possible. I think I should be able to, but I'm not 100% sure. I would say maybe like 90%. Sounds like good practice. Yeah. I'm doing a bit of art on the side, kind of like some rough draft stuff. I do still have the Stream Deck Mini. I plan on using that. Have you ever read or consumed any version of the source material? I have no mouth and I must scream. I've seen a YouTube video on it, but I don't think that counts. But yeah, like, I knew of it before the show. I just... like, I hadn't played, like, the game or the book or anything. I just kind of knew of the concept. Like, I had to explain to some people what it was. They were like, why is everyone talking about I have no mouth and I must scream? What is that about? Speaking of art, I love your Ragatha art on Discord. Thank you. Hello, hello. You know what? You know, while we're on the topic of inspo, I feel like Stanley Parable is another influence. I was looking up about this a little bit. I also like Stanley Parable. I've played it a couple times offline. I wouldn't mind playing it on stream even though I've seen all the endings before, just because I think it'd be fun. So that might happen eventually, because it's kind of a low-key game. Like, it's not like a walking well, maybe it is kind of like a walking simulator, I don't know. The point, like, it's not very intensive, is what I mean. I know the game got re-released on all modern platforms last year. I also have, some bloopers from that long recording session that I might put into a future video. So, we'll see on that. But yeah, going back to Stanley Parable, obviously, like the Office Backrooms vibe, but, Stanley Parable mentioned liminal spaces at its finest. I also like the beginner's guide. I don't know, I think it's just a coincidence that there's a, like, lamppost, but, you know, I have Stanley Parable on the brain. So, when I saw the bucket, in Digital Circus, like, Kinger keeps wearing the bucket on his head, I just kept thinking of Stanley Parable, because there's kind of like an ongoing gag about a bucket in that game. And I looked up, I literally googled Stanley Parable bucket, I looked at the picture, I looked at Kinger's bucket, it looks almost exactly the same. Then I googled a picture, regular buckets, and it looks just like the Stanley Parable one. And you would think, you'd be like, but that, it's just a regular bucket, what do you mean? And I'm like, look up Google pictures of bucket, and then look up pictures of Stanley Parable bucket, and it's very obvious, it's a very specific bucket. Bruh, I never thought about the bucket. But yeah, like, I just thought it was kind of like a funny thing, for those, like, in the know, I guess. Especially as people are like frame by frame analyzing everything right now. Another thing I noticed when I was rewatching is, episode 3 is when we first find out about Kinger, like, being sane in the darkness, but we actually see it in episode 2. And it's the same context. He has the bucket on his head in episode 2. I noticed this because, when I was writing my script, I thought that the first time Kinger and Ragatha talked about her joining the circus was in episode 6, but when I was rewatching, I realized they actually bring it up again in, episode 2. I need to grab something really quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. The difference is that Kinger wears the bucket voluntarily and only way to keep his sanity outside the fort, whereas the Stanley Parable treats the bucket as a parasite. Yeah, I could see that. What was I gonna say? I feel like, this video I've been working on is like the first time I've really channeled my inner video essayist, cause, I've been watching video essays. What year is it? 2026. Maybe like 10 to 15 years. Like, I've been watching them for a long time, but this is like my first time doing my own, I guess. I feel like game theory and film theory was also one that I kind of watched a lot, but it's not really like, it's not really a lore thing. It's more like, here is context you may have not noticed that I noticed that maybe you would like to know, I guess. My Twitter feed has been filled with like Ragatha fans coming up because I keep liking their post, and now it's just like a echo chamber of Ragatha simps. I don't mind it though. It's better than some of the other stuff you find there. If I may begin the discussion, I have a few big issues with the finale, but what they did well was show the dichotomy? I think I always wonder why the T is silent, but yeah, like, it's a dichotomy between, Ribbit Jax and Kaufmo. Ribbit is best girl. Yeah. I probably won't go into everything today just cause like it's like an hour-long episode. There's a lot. I tend to do these streams for like an hour, so I'll like go over some of the stuff that I want to talk about, I guess. You pronounced dichotomy right. Yeah, like growing up, I don't know if you guys had this in school, but like in school, they would be like, read the word and then pronounce it the way it's spelled, or like sound out the word, and I kind of always did that even when it wasn't supposed to be like that. So sometimes I'll mispronounce words because I'm reading them the way that they're written instead of how they're actually pronounced. I feel like I have a decent vocab, but like not like super big. But I I feel like it comes out more in writing than when I'm talking normally, because I just like I feel like when I'm talking, like my thoughts all go away. Hiya, hope you're having a nice day. Thank you. Smiling emoji. Yeah, we're talking about Digital Circus, and maybe a couple of side tangents. Episode 9 wise, I am happy they finally did reveal the backstory. As for, Jack's pronoun wise, Gooseworks said you can use he, him, or she, her, so I'll probably just alternate between the two. You always articulate things well when you talk, but I must agree your thoughts come out better in writing, twins. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I type very fast, so I do kind of prefer typing sometimes, but what was I saying before? Oh, right, Jax, yeah. Yeah, I'll probably just alternate between the two, as things go on. Groovy, it was an interesting ending, but have so many questions about the CNA lore. Yeah, that's fair. I like how the #1 question, or not like one of the #1 questions people had was, what if the computer gets unplugged? Do they all just die? Like, what happens? I guess we just gotta hope no one like, just imagine like some teens like trolling around and they see this abandoned building and they're like, huh, look at that computer, I'm gonna unplug it. And they just accidentally murdered like 20 people. Yeah, like I said, I'm not really gonna go into everything, cause like, I honestly, I feel like it's not my place to, like, talk about that stuff. I mean, not like, completely, just, like, I don't really know what to say. Like, it's already been, like, a very discussed topic, so I'd rather focus on some of the other stuff for now. Well, another thing, like with episode 9, the first time I saw it, I thought one of the abstractions had broken out of the cellar until they said that it was Jax. Because, I wasn't the only person, but there was only there was a couple other people who thought the same thing. Yeah. I think another part of it is like, how do I put it? Like, I've also had issues with my gender, like gender questioning and things like that, so I don't really want to go into that right now. So. Yeah, me too, yeah. Yeah, there was a couple things that went over my head on the first viewing that I got on a second viewing, so... Like, yeah, there was just a lot to take in that I think some of it just, I needed a couple more weeks to think about it. I forget, I think I might have said it on Discord, but I don't think I've said it on stream. I saw, episode 9 in the theaters, like, 2 weeks early. And I cried, like, 3 or 4 times. And then, on a rewatch, I cried, like, once or twice, probably. I had to rewatch the whole thing to understand it, yeah. I didn't even catch Steeples, of course he'd do this. I was meeting Jax abstracted until watching it again. It was only during the I hate you scene that I realized. I noticed when she said, God damn it, Jax. That's when I know, or sorry, when they, sorry, yeah, I need to, I'm trying to do better with the pronouns thing, so I apologize, if I do it wrong. I have some friends who are, how do you say, they're very normie people, so I'm used to, like, explaining it in a way that they understand, but sometimes it means I mess up. If that, you know what I mean? Like, there's some people who are, like, very, diverse? No. Yeah, like, there's some people that are, like, very into that, like, know everything, and then there's some people that have, like, no clue, and you kind of have to explain it in a different way. Or that's kind of why I feel like Gooseworks had to come out and say it outright. Were they only able to curse when Kane left because he got rid of the blue AI? I think it was a Kane thing. Like a Kane limitation. Although people said that Jax did censor himself, or themselves, in the, like, inside Jax's mind sequence, that it was actually Jax on the censor. Aside from Jax, my utter gripe with the finale is that while Kane's redemption was well written, his reintroduction was not. It was too out of the blue, and I didn't get how he wasn't deleted. The most common theory I saw was that the void is like the recycling box. Or like when you delete something on the computer, it goes to the recycling box, and then if you go into the recycling box and delete it, that's when it's gone. That's the most like popular theory I've seen, and I kind of buy that. I do feel like it was sudden, but at the same time, I know that they only have so much time to work with, so I try to give them like a bit of slack for stuff like that. I do wish they had put it in. I do wish they had done 10 episodes and then split it into 2 episodes so we could have gotten like 10 to 15 minutes more screen time. Just to like fill in a couple of those gaps people were talking about. I saw the recycling bin theory too, so Kinger managed to only save him last second. Would have been interesting but kind of dark if one of the circus members died IRL but now get to live on in some way. I thought Gingle did originally, and she was using a headset to copy her. A lot of people had that theory before they revealed it. Technically we actually got the opposite, where Jax is abstracted in the circus but living in the real world, but I get what you mean though. Why don't abstracted mind files go into the void? I've seen a couple theories about that, but my theory is... This is just a theory. Oh god. A game theory. But no, seriously. My headcanon for this is that like abstraction is like a metaphor for like unaliving, like mental breaks, things like that. But computer-wise, if they are mind files, I like to believe that like their files literally get corrupted. And that results in the abstraction because you can't render the file properly, but that's just my headcanon. At least I feel like it makes logical sense. I wish it ended on episode 10 because it's a nice number. That's how I feel about MLP, G4, like, Friendship is Magic, they had 9 seasons. And I'm like, you couldn't go for an even 10. I mean, it's just like one of those little things where you're like, why is there never a 3rd game? Why is there not a 10th season? Speaking of gaps, I kinda wonder, do you think Scratch and the other people we saw in episode 8 during Kinger's flashback were the beta testers? Do you think the programmers were the first to scan? I would say yes. That seems to be like the popular, like, consensus? Let me that seems to be like the popular opinion right now, is that like the first batch of humans were programmers. The reason why I believe this is in episode 8, when Ragatha shows up, Kane says, "Oh wow, another human! I didn't even know that was possible. Guess you do have another friend now, Kinger." So I like to believe that the first batch of humans were the programmers, and then everyone who came after that were just completely unrelated people. To be fair, MLP did end as perfectly as it could have. G5 doesn't exist. I kind of like G5 the movie, but then they kind of fumbled the rest because it was during COVID, so. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a water. I'm gonna leave the mic on, though. We'll see if my background filter picks it up or not. See, I would be a dinosaur person if I was in the circus. I'm still kind of thinking what my circus soda would be. Probably something like adjacent to Ragatha, but not like a copy. I would love some extra episodes about Wormo and Ratty and Beezo. Or Beebsbo. No, the thing is, what happened to the ones who abstracted? Is everyone locked up forever? How did they even get in the game? So many unanswered questions. I'm pretty sure they're like in a aquarium like thing. I don't know if it'll be like that forever or not. But I think like it seems to be like there was like a headset that acted as a brain scanner, and they put it on. Now I'm thinking of Steins Gate. God damn it. I mean, but yeah, I think because they always mention that there's like a headset, and they look around and they're like, "Where did I go?" So I like to think that it's kind of like a VR headset, not that it is VR, but like it looks like a headset. They put it on, being like, "Oh, what's this?" And then their scan gets sent into the circus, and they're like, "Where the heck am I?" And the human just leaves and goes somewhere else. My favorite thing about the finale is how they wrote Jax. He is to be pitied and felt bad for, but we also see how he did everything to Gumball and got what he deserved. I'm still thinking about that. During the showing, I ate dinner in the live chat talking about Kane being back was such a bad spoiler. Who is Gumball, King Darwin's brother? Yeah. I'm getting my thoughts together. Yeah, I put the spoiler warning on the stuff here, so basically they're kind of giving up a little bit of soul that they wish didn't have to exist in reality. I don't know. It's a little complicated. Something I think is interesting about the brain scan theory that I'm waiting for people to get into is, a lot of the times when they do stuff like this in sci-fi, it's usually, like, they treat them very badly, like in, like, stuff like Black Mirror. But in this case, they're kind of like how human is a brain scan. And I feel like before episode 9 I was kind of afraid of that theory, but then when they actually revealed it, I didn't mind it as much. I think it's partly like what Pomni said, where she's like, "I'm not Abigail anymore, I'm Pomni." Where Or it's probably because I'm into a lot of time travel shows, and there's like alternate timelines and different versions of people, like Beta World Line, Alpha World Line. So to me, I see it kind of like that, where like their base is the same, but then they diverge between the human version and the circus version. But I think stuff like that is interesting, even if it's not like 100% like reality. Imagine if you could install mods in the circus. I feel like that's the real moral of episode 9. They just needed the mods. They needed the limiters off and their mods on. Oh my god. In your opinion, would it be morally gray to put on the headset, basically forcing yourself through all that stuff? I think it depends on if they're informed of it or not, because a lot of them were not informed of that when they put it on. They kind of just, like, stumbled into it. It makes me think of this fan art where, it's Hugh and Pomni and she's looking at the screen, she's like, why is there, like, a version of me in the Roblox thing? I would turn myself into Metal Sonic. I think Goose's philosophy is that if they show human emotions and thoughts, they are alive in their own person, which is why Pomni didn't want to be known by her real name. I think part of why I like, the circus, like, how do I put it? Like, the circus metaphor is, if you think about it, it's almost kind of like VTubing, not exactly. Where, like, you take a piece of yourself and you put it in a digital avatar, and then that avatar becomes its own thing. So, I feel like that's why I don't mind the theory as much as, like, other people, is, like, I think that kind of stuff is interesting. Cause I don't know. Cause like, I feel like it's like that on the internet where like people like call each other by their usernames, even if they do know their real names, they just kind of call each other by like their online persona. Man, it's only been 30 minutes. The circus was the first VTuber experiment, changed my mind. Yeah. Although I feel like it's kind of different from VTubing in the sense that they're like in a closed bubble. While I feel like with real life VTubing, a lot of VTubers have identity crisis when they realize that their fictional self is like way bigger than their human self. I don't know, I like thinking about they all got so mud. Yeah. I am Mr. Mystery. Let me see, I'm trying to think. I didn't pre-script any of this, so I'm kind of thinking on the fly. That was actually a popular theory in the community, yeah. Oh man. Was Bubble not the blue eye? That one I'm still thinking about. I'm not 100% sure. It's a little vague, and I'm not sure. But people are pointing to yes, but we'll see. I came up with its name back in 2014. I've gone through a couple, but I had to change my name because a popular VTuber had it and everyone kept asking me if I was a fan of them, so I had to change it to a different name. Man, I'm kind of looking forward to like everyone realizing they did Ragatha dirty. Like, it's already happening. Because they're like, wow, Ragatha blew up on Jax for no reason. What? and now they're like, oh no. I will admit it is kind of satisfying to be like, I believed in her before we knew the real reason. I knew it. I also heard a theory that he's a virus because in the late 90s there was a computer virus called Bubble Boy and Goose specifically were to Bubble as a boy. I do like that theory that because they do have the like virus screen in episode 8 and then they had it as a Google Easter egg recently. I'm glad they are. Agatha didn't deserve to hate. I feel like with the Ragatha stuff, I feel like even if Jax didn't do anything, like, she only really gets mad at him when he's being a dick to people. So, it's kind of like... I mean, you could argue that she's not trying to empathize with him, but at the same time... he doesn't really want to be forgiven, so it's kind of like... You know, I believe Jax fumbled harder than Mordecai. I have a theory that people could see the digital circus from the real world. I'm not 100% sure on that. And because Kane says you parasite in episode 1, how Bubble is basically Kane's devil on the shoulder in episode 8. Yeah, I can see that. I'm trying to keep up to date with the theories, but I'm trying to think what else happened. There was like a lot that happened. Let me see, I might pull it up in the browser really quick while I'm looking at chat. Oh man. But yeah, I've been putting a lot of time into the new video, so I'm hoping it goes well, but we'll see. I'm really curious how it's gonna go. Let's see, Digital Circus. Do they not have it for episode 9? Huh, interesting. Is this it? Okay, here we go. Oh my god, why does fandom have to have like 20 million things on the screen? I hate it. Bring back old school wikis, damn it, I don't want a bajillion things on the screen. Okay, Finger 2 and Bombi, woohoo, day after day after day after. I do like that meme though. Day after day after day after. Brain scanner. Man, Kinger is such a dad though. I was happy that when they revealed he had like 2 kids in real life or something. Did you see the thank you video that Glitch put out featuring the cast? Yeah, I saw it. Oh man, like Amanda Hufford was so emotional, and they had like their pile of Ragatha plushies. That was so cute. Yeah, I've been watching more of the content of the voice actors. They said they're still gonna do streams every now and then. Speaking of Digital Circus sorry, I fumbled that one. Speaking of Digital Circus music, I always thought Your New Home and Take My Breath Away from Top Gun sound the same. Am I crazy? I can't really compare that right now, but possibly, I don't know. Music-wise, I swear, BGM, chill. Why you gotta be trying to talk about something not whimsical right now? I don't know if it's because I watched like the Letamoif, or however you pronounce that word, like the video about the reoccurring music, but I swear it plays during the Rag the Hug too. I swear it does. Oh my god. The Rag of the Hug got me so emotional. Cause like, I think that was like the only hug she got besides the one from Kinger. And it was like the first time that she gave one as well, I think. And like, I think it's just like the look of shock on her face, and then she just starts crying, and I'm like, oh god. Oh my god. Hold on. Let me see. I'm trying. Other times that I cried the first time I watched it. When Jack said he didn't want to go, that made me cry too. I'm like, oh. When they were revealing their human selves, and it got to Ragatha, oh my god, I fucking cried pretty bad at that part. Like, still easily one of my favorite scenes. Yeah. I did see that the Mom Friend song for Ragatha's blowing up, and I'm so happy. I've been following the numbers on that. But I'm hoping we'll get more Ragatha songs. I'll be keeping my eyes out. I'm looking on Spotify and YouTube. Give me more Ragatha content, please. I need more. Man. I don't know if it's just because I've been working on this video for like 2 or 3 months, but I'm going fucking insane. Like, I can't stop thinking. I'm obsessed. The what song for Ragatha? It's called Mom Friend. If you look up Ragatha Mom Friend, it'll be like the first result. It's got over 6 million views and like over like 1.5 million streams. Why doesn't Sen make a Ragatha song? Because I don't know how to make music. But I am thinking of doing a fanfic because I have a lot I need to work through right now. Ragatha is your Oshi. Oh my god. I've been trying to get a Ragatha plushie. Okay, here's my quest. I wanted to get a Ragatha plushie. I tried Walmart like a couple months ago. They were out of stock. I tried Amazon. The plushie never shipped. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the glitch store and get the actual like bigger plushie than like the tiny like $10 one. So yeah, I've been on the hunt for. Like I'm like I think Ragatha has become a comfort character for me, and I'm just like low key accepting that now. Omni was definitely closer to Kinger, I think. You could dress up as Ragatha for Halloween. Oh my god, I'm see, I have what do you call it? Is it OCD? I don't know if it's OCD. I have an obsession problem where like if I hyperfixate on something, I just become completely obsessed with it. And I don't mind it because it's something that gives me something to think about that's not crappy, I guess. But yes, I know I have a problem. I am addicted. I think part of it is there's just not like a ton coming out right now, so there's nothing else. OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder, yes, I know. Like with Chow, yes. I'm trying to think. I don't know what my first hyperfixation was. I think it was probably Pokemon and then Chow and Sonic. Cause I got into Pokemon during like Gen 1 during the 90s, and then like immediately after I got into Sonic, so that was probably like my first. But with Chow, it was a very long-term hyperfixation. Because the last Chao Garden came out in 2001, and I kept playing that game for years, like literal years, hundreds of hours of just playing Chao Garden, and going on the website, and going on the forums, and reading everything I could, like I literally read, like, the whole wiki, from front to back. I could tell you every single type of Chao, the rarity, the color, the personality types, the fruit types. I could go on. I could literally do a whole stream where I'm just yapping about Chao lore. Like, I have a Sen had a Pokemon phase, yes. At least we had Chao in Sonic Generations. But the thing is I need to be able to head pat the Chao. I need to raise the Chao. But I'm not just talk. I did back, I backed Star Garden, which is a upcoming game by Chao Mix. I backed the game. I have 2 copies of it. So whenever the game does come out, I will be playing it. I do have, there's a different game called Bobo Bay that's on my wish list. I'm waiting, till I'm less broke to pick it up. And then, there's also, Poglings. I did not back it, but I do have it in my wish list. We need a dedicated Chao-tism stream. I would gladly watch it, yep. Oh my god. But yeah, I was really into Pokemon for a long time, for like the first 3 or 4 gens. And I don't mean to sound like a Gen 1er. I know like the younger Pokemon fans hate when older Pokemon fans do this. But like I tried to give them a fair chance. Like I've bought like every generation of Pokemon. I had Gen 1, I had Gen 2, I did not have Gen 3, but I had the side games for Gen 3. I had Gen 4, I had Gen 5, I had Gen 6, I had part of Gen 7, and I had Gen 8. I did not buy Gen 9 because I learned the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And that's what I was doing. I'm like, I want a game that feels like Gen 1. And I never really got that feeling again, where like that sense of like wonder and like openness. And it's ironic because it's a very like small game, but it feels larger when you're younger. I don't have a tier list of my favorite gens, but besides Gen 1, I really liked the Gen 3 spin-off games. I liked some of Gen 5. I actually beat Gen 6. Like, a lot of these games I only got like halfway through, but I actually beat Gen 6. And then like with the newer ones, I got like halfway through Gen 9 or Gen 8. And I've always been more of a merch, like spin-off game anime kind of fan. Like I always liked the anime, the games, the like spin-offs. But like with the mainline games, I hate the hand-holding in the modern games. Like if I have to sit through one more fucking tutorial about how to throw a fucking Pokeball, I'm going to lose my mind. If I have to go through one more sequence on the whole first island where they're just telling you, here's the different types of Pokemon, here's how to catch a Pokemon, here's how you go this, here's how you— like, if I have to deal with that one more fucking time, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm so sick of it. Wait, wasn't this a Digital Circus yap? Yes. But yes. Oh yeah, I also really like Pokemon Snap, by the way. Sorry, I can't with the hand holding. Like, I'm not a pro gamer, but like, if I have to sit through one more fucking tutorial about how to catch a Pokemon, I just can't. I can't do it. It could be a 10 out of 10 game, but if I have to sit through a tutorial about how to catch Pokemon and weaken it and the types, I'm gonna lose my mind. So yeah, that's why I'm not a big Pokemon fan anymore. I can't. That's why I like the spin-offs more, because they're more like the anime to me. Like you got like Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Channel, Hey You Pikachu, what's the other ones? Poke Park. I actually liked Poke Park. For the Wii. What other ones? Sanitization is one heck of a joke. What are the other ones? Pokemon Shuffle, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Cafe Remix for like 10 levels and then I get bored. I actually played a lot of Shuffle back in the day. I probably got like a couple hundred in. What's Hey You Pikachu? Oh boy, oh boy. Hey You Pikachu is a spin-off game for the Nintendo 64. It was like a one-off thing they did as a gimmick. Oh yeah, I forgot Pokemon Stadium. Hey You Pikachu. Basically, you are a Pokemon trainer and you get a Pikachu, but instead of going on a journey around the world, you just stay at home and babysit your Pikachu, and occasionally it'll go into the woods and you have to look for random food on the ground, and I realize as I'm describing it that sounds fucking crazy. But, it's like a slice of life game, and the whole gimmick is that you can talk to Pikachu. But the thing is, because it was like 1999 technology, the microphone fucking sucked, and you're screaming at Pikachu, "Pick up that fucking thing, Pikachu! Pick it up!" And he's like, "Pika, pika, pika!" And that's like the whole game. So it's a bit of a like Kusoge like shit game, but like I liked it because like who doesn't want to pet Pikachu? Come on now. So basically, Proto Talking Tom. Oh god. In terms of Pokemon combat, ZA is closer to the Pokemon game I personally want. I don't even know what I want at this point. I just... Like, I basically want a Pokemon game that feels like the anime, and I feel like that's never gonna happen because they have to repeat the same formula over and over again. But like, I've always wanted a Pokemon game that feels like the anime, where it's like this giant world with so many things to do. And I guess Legends Arceus is probably the closest to that. What about Mystery Dungeon? I've played like a couple hours of it. Catface, hello. I want Pokemon games that expand the lore. Yeah. I've played some of Persona 4. Like, I wish someone had told me that if I liked Pokemon to play Persona, because it's basically the same thing, just like way more edgy. But yeah, I only got like halfway through though, because those games are like incredibly really long. But yeah, like I'm very into like lore and like character development and like, what do you call it, like psychological like games. I like stuff like that. But yeah, I'll probably be wrapping up in like a couple minutes because I got some stuff I need to do. I'm gonna try and get the Ragatha video done. I'm like kind of nervous and kind of excited. Like I'm curious to see how people react. Excuse me. I've played some of Dragon Quest Builders. I've played some of that on the PS4. So when I heard about Pokapia, I'm like, oh god, I could... Okay, so Pokapia is very me-coded. I bit my lip again, damn it. Yeah, Pokapia is incredibly me-coded. It's got Animal Crossing and Pokemon and Minecraft and like everything in one game. But I do not have a Switch 2, so I'm not playing it. But if I do ever get a Switch 2, that'll probably be like the first game I play on is fucking Pokemon. I really like the cozy casual games. I don't really like stressful games unless I'm doing it for like the entertainment value. I don't like being stressed. Cause like games are supposed to be fun, I think, maybe. Yeah. I feel like Digital Circus finale-wise, I'd say maybe like an 8 out of 10. Because I feel like I can't give it like a 9 or a 10 out of 10. I'd say an 8 out of 10. But that's just my opinion. I don't like doing number rankings. Like, whenever I do like my anime list and stuff, I don't like ranking it because eventually I realized when I used to do rankings, it would either be 0 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 8 out of 10, or 9 out of 10. Like, I rarely did anything else. Like, I didn't do a 2 out of 10 or like a 7 out of 10 or like, to me that defeats the whole point of like having a ranking system if everything's gonna be like a 0 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. Like, that defeats the point. I'd say that's reasonable though. I would count anime as one of my hyperfixations, idols as well. I would count otaku culture. Like, I like researching into otaku culture because I'm also like otaku, so I like learning about that stuff. And I guess VTubers too. Although I don't watch as many streams as people think I do. I only watch like a handful of them because like streams are like 5 to 8 hours. I don't have that. Like, I don't think anyone has like, oh, let me sit down and watch a stream for 8 hours. The only way I can do a stream like that is if I watch it like 30 minutes at a time for like 2 months. That's why my streams tend to be on the shorter side. Is like by like 2 hours, I am tired. I don't really have the stamina yet. I'm like, God, I'm nostalgic for the days in 2020 when people would stream for like 1 hour. Like, I used to actually watch every stream because they used to be 1 hour and I could finish an hour way easier. And now they're like 5 to 8 hours at like 12 AM at night and I just can't. Like, it kind of sucks because, like, I used to bond with my friends over VTubers, but now that they're not, like, mainstream anymore, I don't really get to talk about it as much as I used to. Like, I miss that, like, community vibe. Back when there was only 5 streamers and everyone knew everyone and Yeah. I'm not done talking about Digital Circus. I don't have too much to say right now. I feel like, I do want to do a video, but right now I'm focusing on the Ragatha video. So, depending on how that does, I'll see how quickly I feel like going back into editing mode again. Because I got some, like, art stuff I want to do. And, like, writing and other stuff that I've been neglecting while I've been doing it. So, yeah. I think, I'll probably, like, wrap it up for today, because I'm gonna go do stuff. So, thanks for, listening to me yapping with me. I hope, you enjoyed it. I don't know when I'll be back yet. I might come back next week, or the week after, probably. I'll probably be obsessively checking YouTube numbers, even though I try not to, but damn it, I can't help it sometimes. Even my Oshi is like that. She's like, guys, the numbers are getting to me, guys. I'm like, oh god. But yeah. So I get it. That's why I do both. I just realized Evil and Palmy didn't really interact. I'm gonna be thinking about that later. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna wrap up for today. See you guys next time. Sen no utsu. Bye. Bye.